And the Lord spake to Manasseh and to his people, but they would not hearken. A nation turned away from God. Manasseh was the son of King Hezekiah, and he reigned over Judah for 55 years. And the first 25 years of his reign was so bloody that the Lord spoke to him and said that what you have done is so severe that there's no repentance for it. And this became the catalyst for the destruction of Judah or Israel. But it's interesting if you go back to the days of King Saul. And if you read in the book of Samuel, it talks about how that Samuel spoke to the elders of Israel because they had wanted a king. And that was the cry that went up. And when Samuel went before God about this, and Samuel was so distraught, and he said, the people have rejected me. And God said, no, they haven't rejected you. They've rejected me. And so now you go just a little bit forward here. On this day that Saul was inaugurated, and he'd taken Israel through a battle, and they'd been victorious. And they went to Gilgal, which is the place of new beginnings. And they anointed him as king, and they made him king there in Gilgal. And that's where Samuel spoke to the people. And he told them, he says, God is displeased with this. And he says that God said that he did not, that the people had not rejected Samuel, but they had rejected him. And he said, this is evil that you've done, and this king will lead you to destruction. And you read this about Manasseh, and you see this is exactly what's happening. And God says in this same chapter of 2 Chronicles chapter 33, so Manasseh made Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem to err, and to do worse than the heathen whom the Lord had destroyed before the children of Israel. In other words, when God showed Abraham the whole land and said, your descendants are going to cover this, but said, not now, because of the iniquity, the cup of the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. He said, now Israel has so defiled themselves that they are worse than the Ammonites. And you look at this, you go, what does this mean to us? Well, this simply tells us that there is a point to where God says, no more. And he just takes his hand of blessing. And as he said to Saul, he says, not only will God take his hand of blessing off of you, but he himself will bring destruction upon you. That's why it's so crucial that the church that Jesus said the gates of hell shall not prevail against, is a great movement of prayer. To pray for our land. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.